Good evening, Speed Gaming and fans of Link to the Past Randomizer League. I am Mayan DM. I'm joined on this call by Secretly a Schliver, aka Sean. That is not Sean Rhapsody, the third member of Third Try Blind, is a different Sean, but this is fine. Hey Sean, how are you doing as we are already underway here?
Yeah, you know, we've actually discussed in the past about having a battle of the Shawns, but it has not come to a fruition just yet. So
And the other
maybe
one
one day
then,
in the future.
the other one then becomes what? Secretly a Rhapsody? Is that what happens?
Yeah, maybe.
There can be only one
I don't think
Sean,
we
so we
discussed
just...
it too deep.
Anyway, this is game 2 between Third Try Blind and More Than Just Another Alt. More Than Just Another Alt won a Cross Keys game in the first game of this set. Now Deep Pride and Aurora Snurd are going to try to take this set 2-0. TJ and Jetto Man are going to try their best to prevent that, and of course the Enimization is going to try to prevent all of them from having any fun whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't think it made it onto Twitch, but I was kind of peeking in the race room while we were trying to get the channel live, and turns out Chicken Hut is just full of rollers. So this is logical Enemizer. It's a bit of a change from years past, where normally the enemy shuffle doesn't take any sort of enemy logic into account. Like they won't put red Igors in kill rooms, or they won't hard lock you out of anything with a roller. They'll give you an invincibility item first, but in this, you're expected to go find the thing that it takes to kill the thing. So you might go into the back of a dungeon and into a kill room, and turn out you need the Quake Medallion to get rid of a dead rock.
Or the Fire Rod or Bombos to get rid of a Red Bari, or any number of things. It's a brave new world out here, this logical Enemizer.
Yeah, this is a product of the newer, because I know Doors Branch has been around for a while, but the newer kind of preferred for racing platform, as the VTorp randomizer has aged a bit and kind of lost the support. We're kind of moving more in the direction of door rando for our rando needs. All right, so we've got one water walking and one swimming. Oh, we've got a bunch of people swimming. Jetto, going into Eastern, gonna see what we've got here.
It's early days in co-op. Maybe you just want to split up a little bit, see what you can see.
Yeah, and of course, along with all of the overworld enemies, the bosses in the dungeons are also shuffled. This is I believe it's a full boss shuffle, which means that we will see 2 bosses twice and each other boss once. And the boss of the dungeon will be listed on the dungeon map once you gain this. So since Jetto found the compass in the first chest there, he can press the X button to look at the map, and it'll tell him what the boss of the dungeon is.
Bombs and a lamp here in Waterfall, so everybody's going to have this lamp aside from Jetto, at least for the next little bit. You have to expect it being Enemizer, it being really early accessible, that Jetto is going to have that too before too much longer, but he may get into some Eastern Dark Rooms without it, potentially.
Yeah, it looks like he's at least. Oh, he did find a big key, but may just choose to save and quit once he hears that there's a better option. Yeah, I'm just gonna check the boss. It is blind. He cannot kill blind at the moment. Yeah, just deciding that doing dark rooms is not in our best interest at the moment.
Discretion, the better part of valor, especially when you know where that lamp is.
Yeah, that's simultaneously a wonderful thing and kind of a stressful thing about co-op is that you do know what the location of those items is, but now you have to think in your head when is the best chance for me to go get that item. Aurora up the mountain, TJ on her heels. And what do we got? We got a bow on Spec Rock. I did not see what was in the cave, but we will. I assume TJ will be going in there momentarily. And we've got a pendant mire. So that means we have 2 Light World pendants as well, so we're buckling. We're here for a while, folks. Alright, so it's just 10 sticks on the spec cave. I assume if it was anything, then Aurora would have gone and gotten it, but we are in Hera, not really finding a whole lot. Jetto gonna go for escape with only bombs, which is usually fine, but I mean with enemy shuffle you never know what you're gonna find. There's a lot of kill rooms down here, so first chest is in logic, so probably not a terrible play.
There was definitely a Lionel holding boomerang key in the seed that I called earlier today. That was exciting.
Uh-huh. Oh, it looks like we've already been here. Okay, interesting play here. Let's see how it turns out. I'm always a little skeptical about going into like dungeons with a lot of kill rooms without a good bit of equipment. Ooh, boy. Alright, Jetto deciding that this is not a place we want to be right now.
So we'll go do something really scary instead, like Dark Cross.
Boy, and that roller is in prime position there to get you when you're right on the stairs. Now here's a question. So that red bar was in the beetle room there. Does the randomizer expect them to have a burning item right now to get through that room?
only for a key holder. You can get rid of it for a regular kill room normally.
Okay.
Yeah, if that had been, say, the replacement for one of the key pokies in Turtle Rock, then
Oh,
you're
no.
going to need to burn it down.
Oh, TJ having a time of it here in Hera. Jumped down for the big chest, got blocked by a Gibo, and then just knocked right down the hole. Looking for revenge. It's a good call. For taking a Swamola to the face. I probably would not recommend that. Hey, they're in the playoffs and I'm not. Right, and we've got a Helmasaur King, which we technically can defeat, but I'm not... Man, I wonder if TJ's just going to go for this.
Looks like he's thinking about it anyway.
Does need one more arrow, and... Okay, full up on bombs, but does need one more arrow before going up there. Trying to find some under pots. I don't believe there are any arrows in Hera at all.
No, I think he's going to have to kind of luck into an enemy on this floor being in the arrow prize pack, if he's got... He'll have to turn the switch in the right direction if he wants to do that.
And he's going to have to... He's going to have to use arrows to try and get arrows, and yeah, just probably realizing the odds are not in his favor there. He's not tracking his items. I know we got one non-dungeon item out of Hera. I don't know if we got a second one. But my guess is no, or else he probably would not have considered going to Helma at all.
Well, that was exciting. Aurora just saw a Pokey holding the key to Zelda's cell and said, nope.
Yeah. Yeah, again, she has 27 arrows, you can take care of Pokey, but, like, man, there are way better things you can do with your time. Alright, deep back to his old nemesis Chicken Hut. Ooh, does end up getting through for 20 bucks.
Not even going to try to walk back. It says, nope, no thank you.
Nope. Oh.
That
yeah,
room is just the bane of Third Try Blind's existence right now.
Yeah, the Usain Bolt guard in such a small room like that, especially when you need to go through a cutscene before you can attack. That's a hard one. I'm not quite sure what Deep Fried was trying to do there. I think he was trying to go up and get healed, but then realized that saving and quitting the old man does the exact same thing. Oh, baby. Is Aurora going to Helmasaur? Alright, Jetto finally got through. I have no idea what course of events just happened, but Jetto fired an arrow straight downwards while looking to the left.
Exciting Link to the Past things happened.
Alright, that's just a map. Oh no. Are we expected to kill Helma with bombs and arrows?
It's starting to look that way, isn't it?
Deep Fried going to the basement while Aurora, who has already been here, seemingly going up to kill the boss. But can't use arrow. No, dude. That's not good. Unless we know we can find arrows up there. She's down to 7. Oh, I see. I guess maybe didn't get that far on the last trip here. Now, I'm a little concerned. Does Aurora even know that they're short arrows? Oh. Boy. I haven't been tracking prize packs at all. Where do we even find arrows at?
That is a great question. We did see both of Third Try Blind go and pick up the 10 arrows in in Spectacle Rock Cave. So obviously it's on their minds that maybe this just has to be it.
I sincerely don't think we have any checks left. I think the only one we have is the boss. The third member of Just Another Alt chiming in chat about the Hera play here. Ooh.
Aurora is just not having any luck with this Helmasaur.
Yeah, I mean, she was in a real bad spot because Helma was walking forward, didn't really give enough room to get a nice bomb throw there. And yeah,
right, and now Aurora as well are going to go ahead and use Upgrade Fairy to try to trivialize this, which makes a lot of sense given the current issues with
that is definitely definitely the play, because I mean, you don't have a repeatable source of damage, you only have ammo, so might as well get as much as you can here. So TJ is now in the Helmasaur fight with 8 arrows. So we'll see if he has any better luck than Aurora did. I believe it takes 5 bombs to explode the mask.
5 bombs.
So we can miss a fair few times before things get a little sweaty. I think CJ has hit him twice.
Well, TJ is also in a bit of a sweaty situation health-wise here.
Yeah, luckily those fireballs are disappearing due to sprite overload. So not really dangerous there. I think we need one more hit, and this is his last bomb. And it did connect. Let's go. Oh no!
And then Helmsworth King's tail connects, and all that work goes to naught.
Oh my. Oh, he was so close. He got like 4 arrows into him. But it's the way she goes in Randomizer. Do we know who the higher seed is here? Whose choice this was for?
The higher seed is more than just another alt, as the second place team in the conference, the first place team being Blackjack and Hookshots. And this is game 2, it is Third Try Blind's pick. More than just another alt opened this with cross keys.
I hope it's all they expected it to be, because oh boy, we've got a doozy as we welcome in the Raiders from SpeedGaming's 3 and 5. This is ALTTPR League. This is a co-op logical Randomizer seed where we have made every single check in the game except for this Helmosaur that to Jetto is or I guess Deep is the first one to get it down, and then Jetto, and now Aurora is in the fight as well. And those are our Titans mitts. I'm kind of struggling to see what that opens without the Moon Pearl. Ah, King's 2. There we go. Oh boy, fetch quests on fetch quests.
This is a rando classic, isn't it? And with no swords, you know where you're supposed to take that.
Yep. Third member of Third Tribe Lines assuring us that there are no nerves at all going into this game, none whatsoever.
I don't know, I've played more than just another alt and Randomizer co-op a couple of times. They're not that terrifying, right?
I think it's more that you're down a game, and sometimes rando is rando. At least I've never enjoyed the feeling of being down a game and being the one on the sidelines.
Honestly, I think it's more stressful being the one on the sidelines. When you're playing the rando, you're just playing the rando. You've played the rando hundreds of times.
Right.
When you're trying to backseat drive for your teammates who can't actually hear you,
yeah,
it's a little more difficult.
Yeah, like playing the rando, at least you're doing something, you know? You're not just sitting by and watching your teammates do the most nonsensical things known to man. do see a flute on Desert Ledge. That pairs nicely with our mitts. And I'm wondering why Deep didn't get it. I guess Deep is gonna go check right side desert, and maybe Aurora's grabbing flute to go straight to Mire. Well that's awkward. I don't think Deep can kill that red hard hat beetle.
I'm pretty sure he can't.
Alright, well, I guess that confirms that whatever we need, it's in Mire area, and I think we're gonna get our classic Moon Pearl and Checkerboard Cave. Always nice to be reminded that bunny walking is in logic in every mode. EJ's still struggling to get held down here. What is this logic? I think I know what that statement means, but I think this is also a good time to refresh our raiders about what this mode definition is. So this is logical randomizer, and what that means is all of the enemies are shuffled. So any enemy can be pretty much anywhere, including that enemies that need specialized weapons to kill them can be required in kill room. Though you can have a dead rock in a required kill room, and you would be required to go find either the Quake Medallion or the powder to turn it into a little bag of poo and kill it in order to progress the game. Just one of those fun little things that have come up in the past year or two that the league admins decided to try out. Alright, so we do find the classic open mode situation of the Moon Pearl and Checkerboard Cave, and now where do we go?
Everywhere. The answer to that is everywhere.
Yeah, Mitts plus Moon Pearl opens up a lot of the Dark World and doesn't really let you get anywhere effectively. Because you're tethered to one portal. And you know that Thieves Town looks enticing, but you know there might be a boss in there that you can't kill, and you also don't have the hammer, so you wouldn't be able to check the big chest. Deep Red gonna check the shovel before deciding on anything else. Oh, blue mail! Fantastic. Love to see mail upgrades in this mode. Is this a swordless seed, or is it just cruel luck? Unfortunately, it's just cruel luck as we see Aurora kind of taking enemy to the face there before being able to grab that chest, but luckily not really too far into the dungeon, so we'll go back and try again. Oh boy. Yep, those sure are some Lionels.
And everybody thought that all of this lag in Thieves Town was going to be gone with the advent of Fast ROM. Well, not when you minimize, it's not.
Nope. There are a lot of sprites on screens that are not equipped to handle it. So Thieves Town in particular, there are normally gels underneath the floor that are not normally spawns into the room until you walk over them. So, and every single one of those is replaced by another sprite. So, yeah, Aurora just saying, "Forget this. Come back when I have invincibility." Looks like Aurora want to pick up the frog, but remember that you have to do dig game first.
Well, you don't have to. You could always make your partner do it instead.
That is one of the beauties of co-op. You can just decide, I don't want to do this today, and now your partner's stuck with it. The reality of that statement, though, is if you do accidentally forget to do something, then it's not necessarily the end of the world if progression ends up being there, because you can clean it up a lot faster than you can solo. Yes, we had a very classic Pearl location behind a required swordless Helmosaur. Anybody who missed all the shenanigans that happened while trying to down said Helmosaur, I invite you to catch the VOD after the race. It was quite the spectacle.
Now we have Deep Fried crossing over into the northeastern Dark World here. We'll get a catfish check and probably on down toward Pod.
And I would not be at all surprised if Aurora hears here and digs up that mail. Yeah, good call. TJ, on the other hand, I believe is rescuing the frog. So I think I think we've got similar ideas here. Oh, and that was, I believe, a medallion. There it is, it's ether. Not that we can use it yet, but it's a surprise tool that might help us later. Gedo down to 1 heart here. Not a good situation to be in normally, but like especially when you can just walk into a room and get immediately killed. Hearing that beeping is a little sweat-inducing. There's our Hammer and Quake there in Ansamaria. Ooh, Hype Cave is hype today. I do not believe that we checked the boss. I think Gedo just came in here and just started clearing.
And we've got Aurora setting up for a swamp play here.
Yeah, just got the hammer and have had the access to get in here for a long time. And I mean, the seed's already been fairly silly. So what's a little extra silliness? This may just be a first check and leave, but I would not be surprised to go if we see her go all the way to the left side. Ooh, baby. And rollers in that there swamp. Ooh, Swamp Boss is Trinex. So with that information in hand, what would you do, my Indian?
I feel like you've made the play this far. You're kind of priced in no matter what you find on left side swamp.
So you would continue on to left side swamp knowing that you're just far away from killing the boss?
Well, you're 2 rods away, you're the hook shot away anyway, so the chances that you were going to the back of this dungeon weren't great to begin with. I don't know that it should change your calculus if you thought that this was a play you were willing to make anyway. I mean, maybe there was some kind of secret hope that you were going to find the hook shot in here and you'd have a beatable boss, but that seems fairly low percentage in the grand scheme of things, given what we've got at the moment.
Meanwhile, we had Deep Fried saving and quitting. Definitely wants all of those things out of Hype Cave, including the hammer, before he looks at Pod. And TJ is maybe going to Pod.
Is dying on the Pod overworld. I was getting ready to talk about the same thing, where TJ made the alternate choice, not going to worry about the currently incompletable for a whole host of reasons Swamp Palace, was going to make that play over to Palace of Darkness instead, and yeah, the game seems to be saying no to TJ today.
And just in case anybody was wondering why the community calls that enemy a murder dactyl, you probably have some evidence why. Okay, Gedo gonna go to East Death Mountain.
There's a lot here that he can do in logic. As one of those inveterate dirty hoverers, he'll absolutely have a look at Hookshot Cave while he's up here.
Yeah, the thing about Hookshot Cave, there are enemies in there, and they may not They may not like people who hover.
They may not be conducive to that. We'll see. That's one of the fun pieces of Minimizer.
Ooh, a fire rod, okay. That's actually really important, because we don't have a sword to use the Bombos medallion that's on Hylia Island yet, so it's nice to have a burn item that we can use. Deep fried passing up the pod play now to do that Death Mountain thing that that Jetto is doing. I don't know. Last I checked, Deep Fried can't hover, but that may have changed.
I don't think that's in his toolbox, but again, that's something that can change with enough patience.
Yeah, and more people are learning every day, so especially since it's going to stay legal in no glitches for at least the next few months. Alright, first look at Super Bunny Cave here. There's our hook shot.
Well, never mind.
Unfortunate.
Jetto's not going to be hovering Hookshot Cave.
Unfortunate, but
Answers a lot of questions that we were going to be having otherwise. Like, when are more than just another alt going to find these items? Well, the answer to that is right now, in about a minute.
probably immediately. Yep.
When Deep Pride finds that hookshot and walks right into Hookshot Cave is the next thing he does.
That is a lot of pokies. That's not a fire rod, Jetto. Oh, and apparently I missed this, at least I'd call it out. We did find silver arrows, I believe in Paradox Cave?
Paradox, I'm pretty sure.
So, that's a big weight off the old conscience. Deep Fried going into Hookshot Cave before going into Super Bunny Cave, which is not a sequence you usually see. It does burn him a bit. Probably just let out an audible dolt. So we did check the boss of Pod there. It was... all I saw was an eye, so I think it's either a Cold Stare or Vitreous. I think it's a Cold Stare. Oh, it's Landmo. Well,
Okay.
then my eyes are
That's
terrible.
even easier.
I'm just noticing TJ's only on 6 hearts here. We haven't exactly had the Light World enemy set in front of us this entire game.
We saw a Deep Fried potion up there at the potion shop. Got a blue in the back pocket now. Going to head into Ice Palace.
And there we see a one of those local Randomizer situations where we had a Gloria that was holding the key, so...
And I believe that was a sword that Aurora has pulled out of Harmless Hellway. Sharp, pokey thing that Aurora is dashing around with now.
That does indeed look like a plastic butter knife, and TJ is missing that and has an extra key, so that kind of got lost in the shuffle somehow. TJ has picked up some extra hearts here, but you gotta think, he would really appreciate that sword to be able to use one of those medallions in his inventory. Right, only 1.5 hearts to deal with Landmos, and we're getting bow Landmo. Let's go.
More
Love to
bow
see it.
Landmo than we got out of used bow today.
All right, well, I do appreciate the attempt, but yeah, on a heart and a half, and you just miss like 4 out of your first 5 shots. I think at that point you're allowed to switch to something else. Oh. Yeah, unfortunately, just lost control of his sprite there, and may have not even seen that rock, because they do have a tendency to disappear, especially in arenas that Landmo is not normally in. Alright, deep dropping into this boss. So glad that Pokey didn't decide to go to the right. Aurora found the sword in Harmless Hellway and Pod. Oh boy. Oh, this is why we got that potion.
That's
Got
exactly what the potion is for.
got the vanilla cold stare. Burn it down, kill it with fire. Especially since you don't have the luxury of a sword to keep the puffs grouped up. And just an immediate puff party. EJ now using Samaria, which is one of the more fun things to use. It does do fighter sword damage, which kills ammo in 8 hits, but I mean, just use everything at your disposal, right?
You use what you got, and sometimes when you're playing Randomizer especially, you wind up in situations where what you've got is not necessarily what you would want, but it is something that will work.
Those are spikes. Those aren't decorative. That's not a floor pattern. So those are sprites on the screen. I'm wondering if you set a Samaria block down, will you delete the rocks that are blowing up? Because they're already disappearing. I wonder if they would just get deleted to sprite overload if you throw a Samaria block down.
Interesting question.
Meanwhile, Aurora in one of the funnier killer rooms I've ever seen. Nice little few Swamolas and some Igors and
Okay. I was wondering where Aurora was going. This is the pickup of that Bombos medallion.
yeah, interesting that she didn't go to ice, but probably just wants to pick up a potion first.
When you've got the flute, it's easy enough to get back down to 8.
Shadow is a nice palace. Took a death and is very, very low on magic. Does he have a potion of some sort? He kind of has to, right?
I'm not sure that Jeddo has been by the potion shop.
He has achieved bottle percent, so maybe just picked one up somewhere.
Possible. And Aurora getting pushed into the pit in the mire entryway. That's an exciting room.
I was wondering how long it would take until She just said, "Heck this! I have Bombos. You get off my screen."
I'm playing Randomizer, I have Bombos. That's the answer. It's the answer to oh so many questions when it comes to Randomizer. And TJ, without that sword from Harmless Hellway, is going to be doing Hammer Blind here in the back of Eastern.
That sword is pulling a lot of weight right now. Yeah, so TJ now fully gone, wants to go get his hook shot. Is not going to go back into pod for that sword. He does not have dungeon chest tracking showing on his tracker right now, but he does have keys showing, and he does not see that he has 6 keys, or maybe he just assumes it's a map or a compass.
It's tough to say. I feel like at some point in the back of pod he took a death and maybe has mistracked something thereby.
Yeah, Sean Rhapsody, the third member of this team, reminding us in chat that he did take a death in Dark Basement and then just decided to go straight for the hammer jump on his return. So maybe just hoping it's dead, or hoping that it's nothing too backbreaking and that his partner will clean it up when he goes there. Alright, so what is Jetto's next move? Looks like gonna check out Thieves Town. This is gonna feel bad doing this without a sword. Because, you know, Thieves Town Skullwoods combo is always the ideal situation here. And without a sword, you're kinda... It's kind of a hard sell to go into a 2-item dungeon that you can't complete. At least for me. I know other people have thoughts about Skullwoods and how the randomizer assigns items.
Jetto locked into doing these hammer pegs the long, slow way because third try blind is still short that sword.
Nice rod. Nice rod, which importantly neither of More Than Just Another Alt have found. Although they also haven't been to Thieves Town, so you would think that that's when that gets done. Jetto deciding maybe Goldwood's Dip is the play.
Well, without that sword, Third Try Blind is locked out of the medallion dungeons, so they have to be running a little light on locations.
True, but I would think that Thieves Town would be a more desirable location right now to try and find a sword before you commit to a double dip of Skullwoods.
That sounds entirely reasonable to me, but, well, as we've seen over the course of 7 weeks of regular season and now into the second round of playoffs, you don't always get the logical, reasonable play out of any runner.
At least not the one that makes sense to the ones up here in the commentary booth. It's not a bad play by any means, don't get me wrong.
And the answer appears to be because they were going to split it up with Jetto heading into Skull Woods while TJ takes care of Thieves Town.
Right, because Jetto has already been to Thieves Town. Something efficiency. Oh, we got a Moldorm.
Something hit a Moldorm on the tail with a hammer 3 times and watch it explode.
Only 7 eyes though. That's a little disappointing. I'm in min-maxer. It's 1 or 8 for me. Everything else is disappointment.
I don't know, I'm kind of partial to 3. It's like it was trying to be vanilla and it just went a little too far.
Right. Jetto hoping beyond hope that his sword is just sitting in this chest. Have we had a pedestal check?
I do not believe so.
Perhaps we didn't see one there. Aurora's finally getting her hook shot.
Oh, casually after all this time.
I wonder if that's gonna... Oh, am I reading this right? Does she have access to Pyramid Fairy now? Oh, has access to TR. Fair enough. Unfortunately, we know where the ice front is. And it is not in here.
expect we're going to see Deep Fried land on that for more than just another alt before too terribly much longer.
Yeah, I think he's gonna clear the back of Thieves and probably make his way over to Hammer Pegs, but by that time Aurora's probably gonna be very, very deep into Turtle Rock.
Well, unless we've already seen a Compass, there may not even be a Trinex here. The Trinex we know about is in Swamp.
That is true. Sometimes I forget about things.
Now, that's not to say that we couldn't have Trinex as one of our duplicates, and it could be in its vanilla location. It's a thing that happens in Randomizer from time to time.
Right. And, of course, then that would make Pyramid Fairy behind that Ice Rod. Excuse me while I, just sit back and have a sip of water.
Third Try Blind certainly does seem like they're a bit priced in by TJ's adventure in the back of Palace of Darkness right now, because it's keeping them out of both of the medallion dungeons. Of course,
Right,
it
and
also has...
there's our second blind of the seed. Unfortunately, we will not get a third try at blinds, but
Or at least we certainly hope that TJ is not going to have another look at this one.
very nice. Very nice dodging. He was not on very good health for that fight. Ghetto not doing diver down.
He attempted it when he was in here earlier
I
and
see.
had issues with the anti-fairy in that room.
Yeah. Okay. Totally makes sense then. I'm trying to think, does more than just another ult need anything? I mean, you would definitely want to find like an invincibility item of some sort.
You're going to have a second sword at some point.
Well, as we all know, they're all on the climb. Don't worry.
Yeah, it'll be fine. You'll stumble upon a sword somewhere.
Uh,
But I think between them, that's the only thing that they still have to have.
Boy, I hear Your Jetto drinking a potion, that can only mean good things for this Trinex fight. Alright, hard part's done. Just smack him a little bit. Meanwhile, I blinked 10 times and I missed Aurora's Biddy fight. Because those silver arrows tend to delete that boss rather quickly. Another thing everybody loves to see, big key on the boss, making you go back in and grab the big chest.
We'll see how Deep Fried's fight goes here.
I'd be nervous at his lack of magic. No, okay, cool.
No, both of More Than Just Another Alt have been very conscientious about going and putting things in their bottles so that they can continue the battle.
Yeah, I avoided playing Randomizer for a few years and eventually didn't end up having to play it, but at one point I was going to, and during my practice I was very surprised at how important things like potions and fairies and stuff are. Keeps Tracker is cut off just a little bit, but I believe all that he needs to do is beat Gullwoods and Turtle Rock to get into Ganon's Tower.
I believe so.
Meanwhile, Aurora is... what, needs four more crystals? And unfortunately, Third Try Blind's still on that sword hunt. Alright, does anybody in chat have any clue as to where this second sword is going to be? Because honestly, with the way this seed has gone, I've got nothing. I believe did Aurora full clear Turtle Rock?
I believe so.
Okay. The tracker does say there's 5 chests left, but that might just be a pork tracker.
Ah, here's our good old friend Helmicopter.
Hey,
We've got a duplicate
Helmicopter!
Helmasaur King.
I was wondering when the chat mascot would make an appearance. Unfortunately, seems to have lost his top rotor. Oh boy.
Having a little trouble getting the stick to stick, but Deep Fried finally does manage it.
Yeah, there was a point there where I thought maybe he was not in such a great situation because he was kind of pinned against the bottom spikes with 1 heart of health, but got the pause in and the Y press in on time to drink that potion.
TJ having a really lovely hammer cold stare fight there.
Yeah, TJ's had some hiccups, but he's also had some pretty good moments. He was stuck on 6 arts for quite a while until finding a bit of luck in, I believe it was in Pod that he got some of this health. But yeah, has played, I think, probably over half this seed with not a great amount of health. Now Jetto's the one that's maybe a little concerned in that part. Oh no. TJ trying to replace a green potion with a red potion, but doesn't have any money. Um, and Jetto seems to be in the tank. Has been on this menu screen for a bit. I'm wondering if they think they got all of the items out of Pod.
That's what I'm wondering as well. It's one of those unfortunate co-op kinds of things that can just happen. It's the kind of thing that can happen to you when you're playing solo as well. Like, if TJ thought he got everything, there's no reason he would ever really think to go back. But in one of those co-op scenarios where you're also trying to communicate information to your partner, get information back from your partner, and one of the things that can kind of slide by the wayside there a little bit is, did I make that check or didn't I?
Yeah, and chat pointing out that TJ actually reset his tracker. You can tell because he doesn't have any dungeon prizes marked. He actually reset his tracker to try and figure out what they're missing, and it's not coming up. So, bit of an unfortunate situation here for Third Try Blind in an elimination game. Like, TJ is maybe trying to turn in the green pendant. Or he doesn't have it, never mind. Green pendant is Desert Palace. Oh, he does have it. See, I'm not crazy. Well, not at that moment. This may finally be it. Yep, they've finally narrowed down their options. And well, I don't think I'm ever gonna count anybody out when the GT climb exists in Randomizer.
Ganon's Tower is its own special portion of the Randomization, and I say that not because the fill does anything different, just because those rooms are designed to be difficult anyway. When they don't contain what they're supposed to, it can be so much worse.
Shadow taking the time to visit the cooling room and maybe refill some of his bottles while TJ just has to resist the urge to meet his face in his pump. Oh, did he need pod money? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. You don't really ever think that's an issue at 127 into a seed. Question in chat, is this Sword Go? Yes, indeed this is Sword Go, but unfortunately Third Try Blind has dodged the sword in Pod Harmless Hellway for quite a long time, so they are pretty significantly behind, but again, Randomizer really shifts the balance of how long things tend to take, so they are not out of it by any means. It's not over until both players finish. Or I suppose all 4 players finish. Both teams, I meant to say. Three swords behind Ice Trinex? Could be. We've seen 2 duplicates so far. Still one left that is allowed to be in the shuffle.
We have reached the point, though, where we're going to start finding out, because Deep Fried is opening Ganon's Tower. This is the kind of thing where you're playing co-op, and it's not even a keys mode, and you just say to your partner, I know the seed's been kind of bad, but man, getting into GT at 90 minutes in co-op, it doesn't feel good, ever.
Yeah, see, I'm a race room watcher, and because I always have the race room overlaying my OBS, so I don't see two copies of my gameplay. And at this point, I'm just kind of looking and waiting for that dot-done to come in.
Just kind of giving the other monitor the side eye, you say, you know, any time now, guys.
Right, and oh, do we have any big key guesses? I know we've already seen a torch. One, okay. Alright, well, we found a sword. Now we need to find a
Sword's nice,
key.
the half magic's pretty good.
The half magic's pretty good, especially in a master sword. Although I guess we have silvers, so it's not as important, but still good to have.
Could be especially important if you run into something like the duplicate cold stare in the Landmo 2 room on the climb or something. Or even worse, in the Moldworm 2 room, where you're not getting a magic refill after it.
Well, see, the secret to cold stare in the Moldworm 2 room is you just break the shell and you hover. We're also in the acquaintance of that anti-fairy that TJ ran into earlier.
Not the most convenient enemy placement, that's for sure.
Normally you would just kind of let it bounce around and do its thing, but like when it starts down below like that, you just kind of hope that, yeah, it's not gonna hit the staircase, right? He tried doing Ice Artist here. Certainly a decision. Maybe not the one that I would make. I would probably try to take the path of least resistance here, but Deep trying to get that heal that much faster. Probably just required anyway. There's the small key and no big key. TJ going into one of the lesser seen rooms in the game to fill up on magic a little bit. Oh, got a little too close. All right. EJ clutching it out on the last shot, and it's a very good it's a very good thing that he knew that magic was there. Of course, you could do some Mario refill, but that takes time. Alright, we have found the big key, and we are climbing to the top of Ganon's tower. This section of the game is usually described as the Gauntlet, and boy, is it an apt description for Randomizer.
We say that, and all of a sudden it's just Octoroks all the way down, and everybody has a good laugh.
Now, I don't know exactly how the enemy shuffle works. Are they just are all the enemies replaced 1-to-1, or are they taken from their vanilla locations and shuffled to another location? Because if it's the latter, we have seen a lot of Dark World enemies all around this entire seed, so maybe this is just the easiest gauntlet in existence. I say as we get a room full of Pin Gators.
Pin Gators aren't really that challenging.
What about Dead Rocks? How do we feel about Dead Rocks?
They're terrible. Make them go away.
Well, Magic Powder does just that. Fun fact for anyone who doesn't know, a red Tektite will die to a Bomb Blast, but good luck getting them to jump into a Bomb Blast. Ever. There's our third duplicate of the day. That is Argus, the duplicate of the downstairs boss. Hey, at least you don't have to do phase 2.
At all, in neither case. That's rather convenient.
Right, Deep making his way up the climb. Nothing that I would call egregious at this point. Certainly not free, but it's nothing that a season Link to the Past slash rando player like himself can't deal with.
And still in a position to make the whole thing easier for Aurora by saying, well, here are where the sticking points are.
Yeah, these are the hard rooms. Don't just go into them like it's vanilla. Fluffing for a sword. We like that. We like to see that. Especially because there are very limited places where swords can be. I believe... Okay, so... Jetto needs one more crystal. He needs the Thieves' Town crystal. I believe TJ is on his last crystal. Oh, oh no! The spikes are real! I did not know that moths spawn spikes.
Moth spawn spikes.
Feel like it never did before. Is that a new thing?
I've definitely seen those at least as far back as last season, so that it certainly happened in non-Doors Branch Randomizer.
Oh, that's right. Jetto needs TR as well.
Deep Pride, my friend, we're going to have to talk about what that Agacycle wasn't. Standing in the bottom right-hand corner and just slashing ineffectively at everything and praying is not a strategy.
It's a strategy. It's maybe not the most effective. Alright, Agatsu's dead. Round Deeps needs to do a Master Sword Ganon fight. Which is obviously super free and nothing could ever go wrong in that fight. Oh no. Okay, TJ went outside, so it's not as punishing as it could have been, but oh man, never feels good taking death that deep in a dungeon. I never liked Master Sword Ganon only because I'm incapable of counting to the number 12. Not because it's too difficult. I just tend to lose count.
And when it's silverless, I don't even bother to count anymore.
Yeah,
Say,
just,
nope, you know what? When the thing starts exploding, I'll know I'm done.
Absolutely. It'll be over when the game says it's over. Deep at 2.5 hearts. I think he could have taken one more hit, but yeah, good. That's a decent call popping the potion early there. Otherwise, it's just going to look pretty on your end screen. tried doing what I failed to do in Master Sword Silver's fights, which is wait for Ganon and don't get a Silverless hit on him, because you have to turn him blue.
It is almost impossible. It feels like you bounce the entire room away as soon as you hit him with one of those spins. So getting all of the timing right and being in a position where you don't feel like you're going to not have a chance to put the silver arrow into him at all is a bit challenging.
Alright, well, we've got one exploding pig. Get your GGs in chat for Deep Fried, who is going to finish first, and Aurora is through GT, just has to kill the pig. Third Try Blind has just had its first runner get their 7th crystal. Jetto just beginning his 7th crystal dungeon with full knowledge on where everything is. And of course, this is scored on time, so Deep Fried having this big of a lead is relevant, but not as relevant as you normally think. Because if a disaster is to happen, and Aurora were to finish 4th, then that would not be a very good average time. Right.
It's the sort of situation where you don't want to take anything for granted, but as you start watching those minutes pile up, the heart rate does come down a little bit if you're the player who's still running on your team, because you realize you've got some time to work with.
And even if, like, if I'm in Aurora's position right now, when I die or I fall, like, that doesn't help with the tilt that, hey, they're not done yet, you have a bit of a cushion.
It's really more of a thing where it leads you to believe that you don't have to take whatever that risk is to eke out that last second, because you're not talking about seconds, you've got a good 2-minute cushion at this point.
Alright, that is an exploding pig. Aurora is too far from the bridge to fall. Get your GG stat, as more than just another alt will take this game and this series.
Which I think makes them the first team in Open League to punch their ticket for the Final Four, which also means that they're going to get an invite next season. We'll give them a little trouble for that when they get in here.
And looking at Third Try Blind's gameplay, I'm going to assume they saw the .duns come in, and will also be on their way to... There's a sword on bed. Thank you, video game. You never cease to entertain.
What a absolute mess.
That was a bit of a dumpster fire, wasn't it?
It
sure
was.
We are joined by Deep Fried and Aurora Snurd, the playing members today of More Than Just Another Alt. Congratulations, good game.
Is it? Is it? Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, that was...
I-
Oh boy, that
yeah.
sure was a seed.
That has to be in the top 2 of worst seeds I've ever played. Probably the worst seed I've ever played. That early sequence was terrible. Just the way you had to go do all that, and then on top of that, all the mess, and I dying 4 billion times. A lot of expletives in my would have been in my channel if I was playing this with my sound on. But you know,
Yeah.
we're also joined by TJ. I don't have the race room.
I have nothing good to say other than GG's to Aurora and Deep Fried.
thanks.
Thank you.
GG's. Poor Deep Fried had to hear me tilt for a long time. And
It was just
not
tilt
having
over
it.
here. Got nuked
Yeah.
by the murder bird in the back. Forgot that I didn't have that sword. Thought about throwing my NT across the room, putting my fist through the monitor. You know, the usual. Why does anyone let me roll anything?
Understandable with this seed, though. I definitely had some tilt moments, and poor Deep. Poor Deep.
It's like, Aurora, if you're struggling this much, there's a chance they're also having a miserable time. Just keep your head on straight.
Oh yeah, that's what I said.
figured-
I kept dummying into things, then I got to a point it was fine, and then we bottlenecked at the sword because we just forgot about that check. So might have been a little closer otherwise, but
Which sword?
just
first
the
one?
the first one. Because
Okay.
The only available sword, as it turns out, because Jetto and TJ checked everything except Pod Harmless Outway.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Wait, are you
Yeah, I
telling
said
me
I
that?
got nuked by that bird in the U basement and forgot that I didn't go there. I came back in and bomb jumped to the dark room and then went to the boss.
Oh no!
Oh,
Yeah.
with
Whoa.
what's left, is it possible that there's one in GT Big Chest and one in Tile Room? 'Cause that's
There is one on the pedestal.
No, that's hilarious.
Oh, that's good.
Nobody's getting that.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Wow.
considering that you need the sword from Pod to open Mire to get the pendants,
you're not getting
I
that
don't
one.
think you're getting
Gross.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that-
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
yeah.
Well,
I
chat,
don't
I hope
think
you were entertained.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just say it was something.
It was a thing that happened, and it sucks that it was on restream because that's the kind of seed you should just send to your friends.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah, I've got 3 or 4 people that I'm gonna send this one to.
This one is on the struggle bus. Like, yeah, just with how bad it is and how how much hurt in this speed. As soon as you die in Chicken Hut, you go, oh boy, this is gonna be time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what we said too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Those also those mired little sea creature things hurt. Like
yeah,
hurt.
they sting.
Yeah, hurt.
Who knew?
Whatever they're called, they hurt.
They are called Swamolas,
Okay, the
As
swallow is
as
hurt.
opposed to land mollas.
Okay, they hurt. Like a lot.
Yep.
Oh.
I think it's a good
Yeah.
3 hearts of damage, isn't it?
No, at least more than that because I went
At least 3.
On green, I believe it's 3 on green. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh,
That makes
okay.
sense.
I must have had only 3 when I got hit by one. Fair enough. Woof. I don't really know if there's anything I could say about this seed other than, wow.
I'm glad it's over.
I sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the pain is done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So 3rd try blind, another wonderful league season under your belt. How do you
That's
feel?
a matter of an opinion in this moment, Sean. But you know,
All right, fair enough.
Felt like the struggle bus for us this year. You know, nothing ever rolled. Somebody was good, somebody was bad, but you know, we got this far, and that's good. It's a new step for us. You know, we for many years we were always the one win out team. So every step further. So who knows what next year brings?
And for 3rd try blind, a golden pipe tells me that you're in the final 4. Is that a thing?
You mean for us
more
more
than
than
just
just
another
another
For
alt?
those guys, yeah.
Sorry, for more than just another alt.
It's okay. The seed broke everybody. It's
Space.
fine. Yeah. Yeah, that would put us in the final 4.
So it becomes harder and harder to dodge that invite, doesn't it?
You kind of can't now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ship sailed for you guys.
Yep.
Well,
Gotta go now.
Well, welcome to the big league.
You have to be the punching bag. Absolutely.
I don't know, last season's Final Four made pretty decent showings themselves. Not all of them are out yet, in point of fact. A couple of them are still going quite strong.
That's true.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Playing well. Including Crystal Roller Crew, you know?
Crystal Roller Crew, Banana Brigade, Milk Carton at least made playoffs. It was quite literally tiebreakers with the other Final Four team, Boing Boing Boingers, to see who got to play and who had to sit out. But no, it seems like last year we definitely promoted the right set of people. We'll see what comes of you lot and everybody else who we decide to send up as fresh meat this time around.
Yep.
Yeah. And until that happens, we still got a potential to, get ourselves to the finals, So definitely push for that, right?
Yes, indeed.
All right. Well, I'd like to take this time to thank INDM for commentating with me through this. Let's call it not such a great seed.
This experience, yes, it was good
this-
commentating this experience with you,
Yep.
Sean.
It was a wonderful experience
Yeah.
For anybody
that's
without
good
a
way to put it.
controller in their hand.
for anybody without a controller in their hand, of course.
Sure. Everybody with a controller in their hand, that's we just it was something.
Yeah.
It was something.
Yeah, it was a thing that happened, and yeah, we're gonna leave this game alone for a week because I don't think I could look at it.
Understandable.
All right, well, I'm gonna step out. GG's. Good luck the rest of the way. Thanks for the comms.
Thanks.
Thanks for the restream. I got a million things to try to still go do. So thanks, everybody.
All right, with that in the books, I don't think we have channels assigned for anything tomorrow yet, but there are some league games coming up tomorrow. The aforementioned Banana Brigade, one of those teams that made Final Four in Open last year and got their invitation up to the Invitational League, going to be playing the first game of their second round playoff series with the Sticky Priests. That's going to be an 80 KDB game that's going to open up tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Then 2:30 Eastern Time, also channel yet to be determined, Spherefunity in their Game 2 against Used Bow. They're going to be playing 80 KDB as well. Over on the Open League side of things, we have Hyrule Hula Hands and Missing Two Bows. They're going to be playing Cross Keys at 10 in the morning Eastern Time. And a little later in the day, if I can get scrolled down to it, the Long Shots and Blackjack and Hook Shots are going to be playing Randomizer. That's going to be their Game 2. That is a 12:30 p.m. Eastern start. So come by and join us then. If we're not on one of the SpeedGaming family of channels, if you drop by the Link to the Past Randomizer League Discord, we will have multis. You can come and join in on those, see the runners on their own channels for a change. It's nice for a change of pace, if nothing else, if we can't get a channel for one of these things. But yeah, Sean, I think this does it. We've said the things that need to be said and done the things that need to be done.
All right, good night, everybody.